Welcome back, guys. We're here with a bit of a special video comparing my Mach 1 to my girlfriend's 2018 EcoBoost. We're going to go over a bit of the numbers and a bit of the specifications, and then later on in the video we'll do a bit of racing between her and I, but I have a feeling I know how that will go.
Yeah, I mean yours might be a little faster, but I don't know, mine's pretty. I like mine.
I do like that red. That is a nice red.
Yeah.
We're going to start with my car because in this case, you do not save the best for last. Right off the bat, we got the Mach 1. The engine bay, I think they did a good job with this engine bay. I do not think this is acceptable for a $60,000 car, but I'm not that big of a complainer, so it is what it is. Beautiful engine bay. I like the intake runners, nice big air filter. Everything's nice and open. Got the big strut tower brace, which is adjustable. I think Ford did a good job with that. It's nice and stylish with the Mach 1 badge. All that is good. Coming around the front here, this car does have Brembos, front Brembos, which I'll get to in a minute. Front Brembos, which you can tell, they create a lot of dust. They're very notorious for that. But night and day difference between, say, a car without Brembos and a car with Brembos. There's no brake fade. They don't overheat. They are magnificent. I will say one of my complaints with this car is there's no rear Brembos. Ford said that this is supposed to be the pinnacle of a Coyote foundation Mustang for the engine, and for that to be the case, I would expect rear Brembos. But nonetheless, it still does great on the track, which is what it's made to do. Coming around the back, this is not the stock wing. This is the GT500 wing, an OEM GT500 wing. I put this on myself. All it is 2 bolts and some heavy duty industrial grade glue, and then my unique plate, which is for the VIN number of the vehicle, because this is a limited production car. And of course, where all the money is, these massive exhaust tips that you can literally put your fist in. When we get up here to the front, you'll be able to see just how much wider and lower my car is compared to this, which you would expect from a track car. This car is 480 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. The 0 to 60 is about 4.2 seconds, and the MSRP for this car, not the way my car is, but just in general, it's about $56,000. My car is the automatic transmission. I almost bought a GT350, which, as you guys know, is the Tremec and manual only. That is the entire reason why I learned how to drive a manual, was to buy the GT350. But financially wise, I was not in a spot to buy a GT350, so I had to wait. The reason why I went with the 10-speed in this car is 80% of the time I would enjoy the manual, and 20% of the time I would not. I would either be in traffic, I wouldn't enjoy it, or trying to eat or drive or what other things, it would lower my enjoyment for the vehicle. So, and I'm not really a manual diehard kind of guy. It's I will say, after driving hers and driving this, which are both 10 speeds, this one is definitely programmed differently than that one. This one is much better at finding the gear. And it's less of a slush box, and also it has the paddles. You can put it in manual mode. So I really enjoy the Tremec. I think it's one of the best manuals, but for me, sometimes I just like to cruise and not have to worry about swapping gears all the time. All right, so that's my car. A little bit about how I came across this. I paid just under $60,000 for this car, and I looked locally, and there were none in Tennessee. There was one at Marshall Mize, but it wasn't the spec I wanted or the color. So I found this car in Florida, St. Augustine. I flew down there. I took my best friend with me. I flew down there, and we drove the car back. So I think my average MPG in this, where I'm at 17,000 miles, I think I average 18 per gallon, which really isn't that bad if you consider what this car is and the type of driving I do to on a regular basis. So with that, we will start on my girlfriend's car. So I am very familiar with these cars. This is a 2018 Mustang EcoBoost. You can tell because the hood is longer and you have these hood vents here, similar to my car. The older models, the hood is like 1.5 inches narrower or something. And then also these rims. These are rims for the 2018. I don't know the exact color name for this red. It's like
ruby red.
Ruby red, or
yes.
like a metallic red.
Ruby red.
I do like this color. All right, now we're gonna pop the hood of my girlfriend's car and take a look at her engine bay. Definitely slightly less tasteful than mine, but again, you have to remember this is an entry-level trim. So you have the EcoBoost, EcoBoost Premium, GT Base, GT Premium, and then you have the Mach1, the GT350, the Mustang Bullet, and now it's the Dark Horse. So this was right under the GT500 in terms of trim levels, and we both have a prop rod. So in terms of the engine bay, it is tasteful. I wish Ford would go away with this plastic cover. But all in all, it is a tasteful engine bay, and I also wish they would open this up. But the EcoBoost is a good car. It gets good MPG, and it's definitely torquey down low. This car is 310 horsepower, 350 pound-feet of torque. Once the turbo spools up about 3,000 RPM, it is a very torquey car down low. Obviously, the top end falls off, whereas the top end on this thing, that's, you know, the 7,400 RPM red line. That's where this thing shines. But definitely down low, these things are a hell of a lot of fun to drive. And MPG wise, you get low 20s in the city and even low 30s on the highway if you really baby it. And you also have to remember, this is a $65,000 car, whereas the MSRP of an EcoBoost is $26,000, so it's less than half the price. Now, if you ask me, the exhaust alone is worth that price in admission. All right, guys, so now that I've rambled on enough about my beautiful Mach1 and I've touched on her car, we're gonna let her kind of talk about her Mustang EcoBoost and some of the stuff that she's done with it.
Yeah, so I have always wanted a Mustang. That was my dream car when I was little. I used to have a Barbie Mustang, pink Barbie Mustang, so this was definitely my dream car. So I love the red. It's very bright. I've just done a couple little cosmetic things to it, nothing crazy. Little red air pressure cap.
Yes.
Nothing, again, nothing fancy.
Those
but
are metal, and those
yeah.
are tasteful.
Thank you. On the inside, I've kind of bedazzled it a little bit with the red steering wheel cover.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to do more on the inside there. Windows are a little dirty, so don't mind that. Okay, coming back here, we have this is my favorite part of the car, honestly, the rear louvers. I had some on the side here when I bought it as well, but I took the car through the car wash and it completely blew them off. So another good reason not to take sports cars through the car wash. I've learned that lesson. I may still take it through once or twice because I don't always have access to hand washing the car, but ultimately you shouldn't take the car through the car wash. But if you want to get a good back view here, this is what Brad sees a lot of the time.
Oh, that's cope.
Yeah. But yeah, this is my baby. I love her.
What do you guys think? We have the $60,000 Mach1 or something that is less than half the price. If you ask me, a car with 300 horsepower is more than enough for daily public road driving shenanigans. I think if you're a car enthusiast or you really enjoy the sound of V8s or tracking the car or going to car shows or events, I think the Mach1 will pay for itself in terms of enjoyment. But just for daily driving, a lot of cars these days just come with, honestly, more than what's needed for a public road.
I guess yours is pretty cool. I'm gonna keep mine for a while, and maybe I'll upgrade at some point.
Oh, maybe I'll downgrade at some point.
Okay. Yeah, you trade yours in, and then I'll take that one.
All right, guys, so that's the end to another video. It's a beautiful day in Chattanooga. We had brought both the cars out, did a little bit of talking about both of them, prices, specs, performance, and then we did a little bit of racing side by side. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. Is the Mach 1 worthy of the name without the shaker hood? Is the Mach 1 worthy of the price tag without the voodoo flat plane crank like the GT350? And is something as powerful as a 300 horsepower daily, is that enough for everyday use? Let me know down in the comments. As always, if you're a new viewer, consider hitting that subscribe button. I promise it'll be worthwhile coming back. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you for your support. Stay safe and enjoy the ride.